Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I create this twist, but as I'm doing this hair, I wanted to share something a bit more personal with you. You might not expect it, but doing something like this is actually therapeutic for me. It gives me a chance to process my thoughts and reflect on things I've been through. And there's one part of my journey that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. It's about a time in my life when I joined a church that seemed harmless at first, but ended up being something very different from what I expected. So while I walk through this twist, I'll take you back to when it all began. So let me take you back to when I first met the people from this church. I was working in Lekki Phase 1 at the time, and they approached me one day. They were really friendly and invited me to a one-on-one Bible study. At the time, it seemed like a nice casual thing, not so serious, and I was actually excited about it. I thought it would be a great way to learn more about God, but looking back now, I can see how it was the beginning of something much more manipulative than I realized. At first, everything seemed fine. We'd talk about the Bible and I would share a little about myself. But as the study continued, they started to ask me more and more personal questions, things I wouldn't even share with my parents. And I thought, okay, maybe this is just how deep faith is supposed to be. But soon, it felt like I was being pushed to open up about things I wasn't ready to share. They would use Bible verses to make me feel guilty for holding anything back, and it really started to feel invasive. I kept thinking that maybe I was just overthinking it, but there was this growing feeling that something wasn't quite right. Now, what made it even harder to see the red flags was how much attention they showered me with. It felt so good to have people who really seemed to care about me, checking in, asking how I was, always showing up with smiles and encouragement. I remember thinking, wow, I must really be special for them to care this much. But now I know that it wasn't just kindness. It was part of a strategy to get me more deeply involved. Then things started to change in a way that made me uncomfortable. Right after I joined, they told me I needed to cut off my friendships. They had me unfriend people on Facebook, people I had known for years, and they told me that my church family should come before my own family. At first, I didn't understand why it was so important to do that. But I remember they made me feel like I wasn't fully committed if I didn't obey. I started limiting how much I talked to my family, and I felt guilty if I spent too much time with anyone who wasn't part of the church. It was a strange feeling because I had never been told to do anything like that before, but they made it seem like this was what I needed to do to show my dedication, and I started to question myself. Was I being selfish? Was I doing the right thing? As I continued with the Bible study and later attended the church services, the love and attention grew, but so did the restrictions. I couldn't do certain things, couldn't hang out with certain people, and slowly the lines between what was normal and what was expected from me became blurred, and that's when the red flags started to pop up. But I didn't really know what to expect or what to make of them at the time. I just thought I was being over dramatic, or maybe I wasn't fully understanding what it meant to be committed to the church. But looking back now, I see just how controlling it all was. As I finish up this twist, I realize how much I've learned from this experience. It wasn't easy, but reflecting on it now, I can see the signs that I missed back then. I still have a lot more to share with you about how things escalated, but I'll save that for my next video. There's so much more to the story, and I'm really looking forward to telling you about the turning point where I began to see the full picture. But for now, I'll leave you with this part of my journey. If you've ever been in a situation where you've started seeing red flags but didn't know how to handle it, or if you've ever felt pressured by a group or of people in your life, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you can catch part 2 of my story in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.